this week continues live on NFL Network. We got Browns at Bucks coming up tonight. It's Todd Monken's return.
Oh, baby.
Wow.
Yeah. Monken Bowl.
And then a triple header coming up tomorrow. Cardinals at Vikings at 1 p.m. Texans at Cowboys at 7. And then Seahawks at Chargers tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern, rounding out everything there on the West Coast. And that's exactly where we're heading now.
Yeah. Oh. Can I put a hand up for a second?
Yeah.
I don't know if I should admit that. I don't know who Todd Monken is.
New offensive
OC,
coordinator. New
I don't know
OC
who that
of the
is.
Bears.
Okay.
Was the OC of the Buccaneers last year.
Yes.
Fitzmagic.
The Browns, I'm
he
sorry.
Made
The
all
Browns,
of the
yeah.
He made
Fitzmagic
Fitzmagic,
come
now
out
he's with
last
the
year.
Browns.
Okay. Should I take a lap for Todd Monken? All right, I think I will. Yeah. I mean, Monken. I didn't know Colleen was going to come
He
with
was
that.
the coach
Listen.
at Southern Miss before he
That
took
wasn't
the
in my
Bucs
show
job.
prep,
I love that
Peter.
you're actually
Come on,
doing
show
it.
your feathers, Peter. Come on. You know it all. You do.
Big Todd almost got the Jets job. Had a good interview.
Yeah, so it's a
Monken Bowl
maybe
tonight.
it's a revenge game. I don't know.
Monken.
Will Silva, help us out here. What do you know about Todd Monken?
I think that he is a great human being, and I think he's a great coordinator. And the fact that Kyle didn't know just is shameful. KB, actually, take another lap. You disgust me.
I hear Monk.
You
I was
disgust
thinking
me.
Art Monk. I was thinking Tony Shalhoub. I'm sorry. I already took the lap for it.
You know drama.
I know a lot of stuff, Will. What do you know today?
I've got plenty of news today is what I've got. Jimmy Garoppolo's preseason performance against the Broncos on Monday night was a forgettable one. It was enough to induce panic in the Bay Area over what is being perceived as a foreshadowing of the regular season. As the saying goes, tape don't lie. And that tape is one, obviously, he'd like to burn, and for good reason. 1 for 6. 0 yards, a pick. He didn't seem particularly comfortable in the pocket, but Jimmy G will get a chance to redeem himself. Head coach Kyle Shanahan confirming Garoppolo should play the entire first half Saturday against the Chiefs. Jimmy G says Monday night's game was a learning experience for him.
Yeah, I'm very hard on myself, especially, that night watching the film, the next day watching the film, and then, at some point you have to move on and try to, you're still trying to correct those mistakes and not make the same mistakes twice. But, if you just dwell on the past and dwell on that one game, you're going to get stuck there and you can have no success going forward. So I think it's good to be hard on yourself, but at some point, you got to move forward.
Well, his former teammate Tom Brady was moving forward, literally, looking for positive yardage on this run. Thursday night against the Panthers, Brady getting the first down on the big 3-yard scramble. TV12 asked about how important it is to show off his wheels in extending plays.
To get a first down conversion on me scrambling, I'm sure the defense coordinator is like, what the heck? This is not, we got to stop Edelman. We got to stop White. We got to stop the run game. We got to stop, these great players, and all of a sudden Brady for a scramble. That's got to piss him off pretty good. So I revel in that. And hopefully I can do that, once a game. I think I'd be good with that. And if they give me the opportunity, I'll take it. It's just, I don't think it'd be much more than 4 or 5 yards.
Can't wait for those Brady scrambles on Sundays. Also, Nate, looking at that hat, better than Cam's, or you think Cam's was better?
Talk about the hat. Okay,
Talk
Tom
about
Brady,
it.
I see you. I don't know if that was shade, but it was definitely him saying, Cam, you can do it, but I can do it better.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Will. We'll check back in with you a little bit later.
Yep.
Let's get to these highlights, baby. I have some more for you. Washington, Atlanta, Case Keenum. He's trying to make a case to be the starter. In Washington, he drops back, trying to make something happen, and he gets hit from behind. And once you get hit from behind, the ball is going to pop out. And speaking of my guy,
big man.
Takaris McKinley. How about that? I see you, fam.
Okay,
Get
Tack.
in there, Tack. Ask about the hat.
Man.
Takaris McKinley is the original Ask About.
That was his uncle.
It was his uncle.
An incredible hat on the red carpet.
Full circle, how we bring it here on the show.
I don't call him Tack. I go with Takaris.
All right.
Cool name.
I go with Takaris.
Formal.
All right, here we go. Dwayne Haskins trying to make a play. How about this, though? Back shoulder fade ball. Kelvin Harmon, 21 yards. That's a beautiful ball. Looks like a starter ball to me. How about that? The Redskins, they win 19-7.
NFC East will stay there because the Giants travel to Cincinnati. Andy Dalton's first drive goes back, looks up, a beautiful pass deep into the end zone. Touchdown. Andy Dalton looked good last night, guys. He marched the team right down the field, but he wasn't the only quarterback who played well. Eli Manning.
Oh.
Here we go. Drops back. Pass is complete. That's Russell Shepard for 19 yards. Manning would go 4 for 8 for 41 yards in his one series.
Here we go.
This morning, the talk is about this guy, Daniel Jones. Did fumble in this game, but this is an amazing pass. Connects with Darius Slayton for 27 yards. Guys, the numbers on Jones. 9 for 11, 141 yards. Through 3 games, he's 25 of 30 for 369 yards and 2 touchdowns. Here is Mr. Daniel Jones after his performance saying, Baker who?
You know, what I'm focused on right now is continuing to learn, continue to take the right steps forward. And I mean, I think there's a number of things that I still need to work. There always will be, but I don't know. I think there's certainly a lot to work on, a lot to improve on.
That's what we thought he was when we drafted him. It's fun. About every 6 or 7 days now, I've been able to tell you that's what we saw when we drafted him. So I think he just has a feel for playing the position, and he's steadily getting better every time he takes the field, whether it's practice or games. And so that's what you're looking for from a young player, and certainly a guy as talented as Daniel is. You can ask me all you want about why I like him. I think it's time to start asking the people that didn't like him what they think, quite frankly.
Hey, with a smile. Okay, Pat. What's up, Pat?
Assy, I like it. Okay, so there you see Daniel Jones this preseason. Look at what he's done there. 25 of 30. He's connecting on 83% of his passes right now. All that talk surrounding Daniel Jones after the quotes from Baker Mayfield about the rookie quarterback. But look, Pat Shurmur, he's loving the play of his young quarterback. How could he not right now? So my question is, should the quarterback's performance in the preseason maybe speed up the timeline of when they're going to start him, or does everything kind of just sort of remain the same and they have this cushion now?
I think internally the plan is the same, but I think it whets the appetite and sort of lays the groundwork for the fan base in a way that the last time they tried replacing Eli Manning was not done. When Geno Smith was put in for that Oakland game, fans were outraged because they felt like they were blindsided and Eli wasn't treated right. In this case, Eli Manning's playing fine in the preseason. He's going to start week 1. He's going to start as long as he can. But when they do eventually go to Daniel Jones, the New York Giants fan base not only will be ready for it, will be welcoming it. It's a totally different narrative, a totally different timeline. This is how it's supposed to be done. And if you're a Giants fan right now, you're feeling good about it because you don't feel like you're disrespecting Eli Manning and you know there's a plan in place. Good things in Giants world right now, and I don't think that was the feeling 3 months ago.
And that's just it. You said they'll be welcoming. And when you mentioned the Geno Smith situation, that was a true backup coming in to spell a legend here in New York. This situation is a lot different. Daniel Jones is brought here to eventually be the starter, to be the face of this franchise. And we talked about this yesterday before the game. If Daniel Jones comes out and he plays well, you mentioned appetite. Now all of a sudden the fans have a taste in their mouth. Now let's just say Eli starts the regular season, doesn't go so well. Maybe he's not playing well. Maybe the team loses. All of a sudden, these fans, they're going to think back to their memory. Sure. What did Daniel Jones do in the preseason? And what we remember right now, he's one of the more efficient quarterbacks. He has composure, and I get it. He's playing against 2s and 3s. There's not a lot of blitzes, very vanilla offense. But from what we see now, this man looks like he has the sauce.
What Daniel Jones has done is shorten the leash on Eli. Shorten the leash. He'll be in faster because of this. But we can talk about that for the next couple of weeks. I want to talk about what Pat Shurmur just said because that's fascinating to me. The whole thing about, why don't you ask the people who didn't like him. Now, maybe that's a little premature, but I will say this. The Giants, Coach Shurmur, everybody for 6 months have eaten crap sandwiches all day, every day. Odell, the draft pick, it's just been a lot of crap. That probably felt pretty good to say, really good to say. And if you think about the Giants, they're the ultimate, most buttoned-up franchise who don't drop a lot of sound bites like that. You go back to the heyday, and it's Parcells, it's Lawrence Taylor, it's Jim Fossil saying this team is going to the playoffs. That was a moment right there because it wasn't just the soundbite. It was a little smile. It was a little twinkle in the eye. And it was nice to see that from Pat Shurmur, who's usually really flat. He's obviously all in Daniel Jones. And, we'll see how DJ plays out. But I like that for that moment. That was a kind of a tone-setting soundbite for the Giants.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are almost caught off guard by how good Daniel Jones is playing because they just saw and heard sort of all of the hype up to the draft, and you saw what he did at Duke, and he didn't have great players around him to put him in that position, and now he does. I mean, he didn't have an offensive line. He didn't have a clean pocket. So now he has that. Now we can see what he can do, and it's pretty special.
Yeah, and Dave Gettleman has been doing this for a long time. He's not putting his name on a pick if he doesn't feel comfortable about it, and I bet you he's home. He's either watching our show or doing something else, watching film. And he's having the last laugh right now because Daniel Jones looks the part now. We'll see how the season goes, but at the very least, so far, early returns are pretty good. We talked about Daniel Jones. Let's talk about Baker Mayfield.
All right,
the other guy on the side of that. Are we bullish or bearish on the way that Baker has handled his offseason? Oh, the youth in me says I love it, but the conservative in me says, oh, no thanks.
Peter, is there still youth in you?
Yeah.
You're an old soul, buddy.
Am I?
Yeah.
Gentleman in me.
Yeah.
He was an old soul at 10 years old.
We also had the Duval debut of Nick Foles, and that's my guy, Diddy Westbrook, who had a night. The Jaguars playing the Dolphins. We'll talk all about that Florida.